Hey friends, welcome back to another YouTube video, and in this YouTube video we are going to learn how to paint a rose composition, and that we will be doing in a sketchbook. I absolutely love to film a sketchbook with amazing watercolor composition, and today we are going to learn how to do that. So let's get into the video right now.
So for starting with this painting, I will start with wetting the paper. For wetting the paper, I will be using this brush, which is 2 in silver black velvet wash. It is amazing brush which can hold a lot of water, and I will be telling all the art supplies that I will be using side by side. So I'm gonna just start with wetting the paper. The sketchbook that I'm using right now, it is from Etcher Lab, and it is a really amazing sketchbook. The paper used in this sketchbook is Fabriano Artistico 300 GSM cold press watercolor paper, which is amazing. Absolutely love the cold press watercolor paper. For starting with, I will be also using 3x4 in silver silk series 88 angle brush, wetting it, and I will be picking up some of the burnt sienna color from the palette. Make sure that the consistency of the color is not very dark in the starting, so I'm just gonna lighten up it a little bit, and then I will just spread it. Make sure that your paper is still wet when you're doing this layer. So I just got the base layer, and now I will darken up a little bit in the center part of the flower, rinsing out the color and keeping the brush aside. Now I will be taking a smaller size brush, which is 1/2 inch angle brush in the same series, silver silk series 88. Really amazing series. It can hold good amount of water considering it a synthetic brush. And now I will start with painting the petals. I'm using the same color that I started with. It is the burnt sienna. The colors that I'm using, they are always from Winsor & Newton, and I am using Winsor & Newton Professional Series watercolor paper, watercolors. They are amazing. Really love using them. And few petals at this part. So we are basically done with the center part of the rose flower that we want, and then I am gonna paint few of the petals which are kind of at the outer side of the flower. Maybe a distinction boundary for the petals, and I will go and add few more petals on my own. But most of the time I end up adding things on my own, which I did just right now. A petal over here, I will just kind of go back and fix it. And one petal here, one petal here. And I will always go back and retouch if I feel that I have to retouch or fix the flower at some part. Then I can just always go back, fix it. But make sure that do that thing while that area is already wet, because once it dry, it will be a little bit hard for you to fix those areas which you have kind of messed up a little. So I have done with one flower which is over here. There is one flower which is here, and maybe one flower which is over here. So I have to change the position a little bit considering the places that I am having on the paper. For right now, I am using a very small paper. Usually I go with the A3 size sheet. So now I will just go and I will wet this area. I'm gonna repeat exact same step, wetting the areas, painting the base layer, and then painting the petals, and then I will wait for it to dry, and then I will go with the final layer, which is the detailing, mostly wet and dry technique. So going with same bigger brush. But this time what I will do is that I will keep the boundaries a little bit darker. I need a little bit of more burnt sienna. So like this. And now again using a smaller size brush, angle brush again, and again I am using the same color, which is burnt sienna, but I mix a little bit of red at this side so that it will kind of give a little interest to the painting, nothing very specific. And now I will just start with painting the petals one by one. Yes, my paper is wet currently. It's not dry, but there can be chances that paper can dry while I am doing this step. That happens mostly when I am doing a bigger flower. So it's completely fine. I can just go and continue with the wet and dry technique instead of just wet and wet technique. I won't be doing a lot of detailing in this flower because first of all, in this flower we do not need a lot of detailing. And now I will go with the third flower, which will be almost over here, but I have to cut it a little bit because it will be going out of the frame. So just wetting the paper. And this time we are going to change the color a little bit. We are going to go with a little bit of pink color. A little bit more reddish actually. So this is the color that we will be going with this time, and I will be kind of making these flowers joined, but in the reference picture the colors are not very joined. Flowers are not joined actually. And so this is the base layer. These are the hairs from my brush which I have to remove. So once done with the base layer, I'm gonna add a little bit darker red color almost in the center part of the rose, which is this, and then I'll just go back, pick some of the red color or the pink color that I was using. I'm using permanent rose again from Winsor & Newton. Start with painting the petals. Once we are done with these kind of layers, I feel that the composition is a little bit more leaning towards the left side. So what I will do, I will add some elements at this side of the flower or the composition so that I can just balance it a little bit. So there are no specific rules that I am following, And I won't be going with any of these two colors because that will add a lot of symmetry, because there are two flowers at this side and the same flowers on the other side. It's gonna make a lot of symmetry, which I do not want. So I will be just kind of breaking the symmetry a little bit, and I will be painting a flower that is a little bit of more palish as compared to the brownish or the pinkish. So there is like this, which this color which I will be opting for. Again, won't be doing a lot of detailing, but for the second layer I'm definitely go with a little bit of burnt sienna color. Not a little bit, actually I will be picking the burnt sienna only, and then I will just pick. So I guess I'm very happy with the placement of the flowers. Now in the meantime, I've painted these two flowers. The previous flowers already dried, and now I will go back and do a little bit of editing and detailing in wet and dry technique. And now the same detailing I will do in the other flower. Actually I will be doing a lot of detailing in these two flowers, but not a lot in the other ones. Maybe a little bit more in this one as compared to this one. And for detailing this flower, I will go with picking a little bit of alizarin crimson instead of the permanent rose. So once I am done with all these kind of things, I will now go and paint the green elements of the flower, which are basically the sepals, petal and the leaves of the composition. For that, I'm going to use sap green, permanent sap green, which is again from Winsor & Newton. I will just use that color for that thing. Now I will be picking a round brush, which is Silver Kolinsky size 8 in round, wetting it up. Again, I will be now painting those things which I cannot achieve by using an angular brush. That can be stems. Actually, you can achieve all the things by using an angular brush, but actually I will just go and switch it up so that it can add a different kind of interest in the painting. And then I will just paint the sepals. And then there is like this one stem which is kind of merging out. I just wanted to have this kind of effect, and I cannot achieve this kind of dry effect with angular brush. I can, but it can be a little bit more harder as compared to in the round brush. And you can also use the back side of your brush to scrape out veins in the leaves. Same going at this side, but make sure that you're not smudging your painting in process of doing that, or you can just wait for your flowers to dry and then go to the green part so that you are sure that your painting has dried, and then you can freely just work on this part of the composition. I cannot just go and add a little bit of leaves. You can also paint few of the leaves which are on the top of the flowers, and you can also just play with the opacity of the green color, the tonal value of the green color. And one leaf stem which is just gonna emerge from this side. And I'll just also go back with the sap green color, a little bit more thicker consistency, and then I can just go back and add few stems in the composition. These stems are for the other flowers. We are having 4 flowers, so I'm just going to provide few stems. For the darker shade of green, you can use Perylene Green, again from the Newton Professional, and mix it with the sap green to adjust the values. Again, going with the back side of the brush to paint the veins, but make sure you're not smudging the area. I guess I'm very happy with the composition. So guys, thank you so much for watching this YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and a comment in this video. See you guys in the next tutorial.